Hello, welcome to another interesting episode of the program Sports Preview, proudly sponsored by MaxBet. Yes, MaxBet are the proud sponsors. A platform that offers a 100% bonus on your first deposit. You start also a chance to get 300 naira just for registering on MaxBet. Welcome. Today on today's episode, we're looking at the English Premier League, of course, match week 3. It's coming with all of the ginger. We just saw what happened in the match week 1 and match week 2, and that tells us interestingly about what to expect. And with the UEFA Champions League league phase also decided, I know teams are beginning to think about how expanded they will be needing their squad in the course of things. But let's talk about it. Brighton and Hove Albion will take on Manchester City, and also we'll see Nottingham Forest welcome West Ham United. And at the Anfield, one of the toughest places to play football in England, it will be Liverpool up against the Arsenal. Most likely that Bukayo Saka will not be present in that one. One of the reasons they got Money Madueke to join up with them, and also Aston Villa will take on Crystal Palace. And this will be the games that we'll be talking about on today's episode. My name is Oji Ofia, the W. I won't be doing this alone. I have with me Podolski, who is also back, and also flanked by my left is the man CI Zoro. Welcome to this interesting episode of Sports Preview of Global Community Hall. Joining me to do this is Podolski!
Wow.
And of course, flanked by my left is the man CI Zoro. Good to have you. Interestingly, we've talked about games, and it's beginning to heat up. It's going to take 38 games this season in the Premier League, and we are just about with 3. Let's start with Brighton up against Manchester City. I feel like City are getting back to where they actually want to be, but it is not forthcoming as easy as they would want it. Because I still feel they are still missing that Rodri absence. They've not been able to play their possession football like they love to. Let's talk about it. Brighton will look to build on the thumping EFL Cup victory over Oxford as they host Man City, looking for their first Premier League win of the season. But I don't think it's what they'll be getting when they face it.
Yeah, Brighton. I think Brighton have not had a good season recently. Now you can check their last game where they draw against Fulham, and they also got a defeat against Everton. So Brighton are still trying to find their feet. The last time they experienced such thing was 16 seasons ago. So we expect them to bring up their A game. Now we're talking about Man City. Yes, Rodri is still missing. Man City were top 4-0. After then, they collected what they received in the hand of Tottenham 2-0. So when I look at this game, I was saying that something is still missing in that Man City squad. Haaland is not delivering this season. I was asking, what is the problem?
Yeah, and when you talk about that 2-0 loss that happened in the hands of Tottenham, enough persons blamed the goalkeeper, James Trafford, for a very shaky, jittery performance that he had at home on his debut. We're hearing news about Donnarumma coming into that side. Do you think the goalkeeping position is a problem for the team?
I think the goalkeeping position, we have to work on them, because the goalkeeper is making his first appearance, committing such an error so you're going to be criticized very well. And Man City, Pep Guardiola should also step up his game. If this is his last season or more, he will determine with the performance. Yes, so Rodri absence is still missing in City squad. I will say it. They are not see the position. When I saw what Tottenham did, I was asking, is it the Man City that we know? I think this season will come with a lot of surprises.
Lots of surprises. Zoro, City were last beaten in 2 of their first 3 league games back in 2004-2005 season. That's such a long time. Pep Guardiola would be so determined to try to avoid such a fate by repeating. What are your takes as Brighton host City?
City is big, having won about 6 Premier League trophies under Pep Guardiola so far. and then a lot of other trophies just to crown it all. Now back to your question here. Brighton in this particular case is the only team aside from Swansea that City has found it quite dressing to beat of recent. Let me talk about Brighton most importantly. Brighton has avoided being beaten by City in their last head to head. They had one win and then one draw. Okay. Now, Brighton might not have started the season exceptionally with their recent, but City on the other hand didn't have it always. They started well, but they were defeated by Tottenham. You get, and at this particular point is a point where both teams are trying to prove their points. Prove their points in the case that Brighton have lost only one of their last 9 Premier League games, of recent, which has about 5 wins and 3 draws on their own home soil. You get, and then Brighton has unfortunately not kept even with all the being very very good with their winning rate. They have not kept a clean sheet, which means there's a tendency for Manchester City to still score while they equally equalize. You get? But Manchester City, on the other hand, has proven to be very resilient, just like you made mention when you made the introduction, saying that City has had a very fair run and the last defeat they had was some few seasons ago. Now, Manchester City, on the other hand, has kept clean sheets in their last 5 Premier League away matches. So this is another thing Brighton should really look into critically. Now, moving forward, I feel that Brighton would have to prove their best at this particular point, and then of course City is coming in with their best. So I feel it is what I would call a match of the fittest.
Of course, survival of the fittest. And if you look at it for this City side, losing two goals to nothing to a Thomas Frank Spurs, I don't think it's something that will sit well with them at all. And I feel like just like a wounded lion, the best option for them is to try to bounce back as fast as they can in this fixture. And there are players who think that could make all the difference on the night.
Yes, yes. City have the players who are capable to deliver. I think you say, like you stated earlier, the last time City lost 2 opening games was the 2004-2005 season. So they will not allow the same fate to happen to them. They have the players. Haaland is there. He delivered last season. So we expect him to also do well this time around.
Okay, we'll watch out for what happens. But let me also remind you that Jorginho Ruta missed Brighton's last 2 games, while City Ariana Glory suffered an ankle injury against Spurs and made miss out of this one. Savinho and Josko Gvardiol, they are doubtful. We're not sure if they can make it to manage the squad. So we'll see what happens with all of that coming through. I feel we'll still come back to the MaxBet Show Banker Bet segment where you can, of course, hear what our predictions for a match like this one would be. But let's talk about the match of the day for Sunday. There's no other but the rivalry match between Liverpool and Arsenal. If all the antecedents that teams are showing this season is anything to go by, these are our potential number 1 and number 2. We've seen the battle between them. And I feel Ateta haven't gotten Gyökeres, haven't gotten Noni Madueke, and a couple of other good players in different positions should now think about winning this one to start making a point, because this is last season's Premier League champions, Liverpool, hosting runners of Arsenal, with both sides putting a perfect start to this campaign on the line. If anyone fails to win, because I'm seeing anybody who wants to challenge for the title going at least 10 games unbeaten. And with ratings, what are your thoughts about this one?
Yes, so anybody who wants to challenge for the title, there's some teams you have to beat for us to know that yes, that you are challenging for title. You will not just come and win 2 matches and you tell us that you are challenging for the title. Liverpool will hunt for their back-to-back top flights this time around. Now, they are facing the people that we know they are always finishing second. They will struggle at the end, top the table. 5 games to go, you see them at the second position. That's how they will be scoring people tickets. But I believe that this time around, they may do something whether Bonfrijo is there or not, we know where Arsenal normally finish. Now Liverpool begin hot for their back-to-back top flight, entertaining 4-2 and 3-2. Where 3-2, you check their first match against Bournemouth where they won 4-2, and Newcastle respectively where they won 3-2.
Yeah, and looking at those 2 games when they consider two goals each, I feel they are not where they want to be defensively.
Yes. If you look at most of their opening season recently, Liverpool normally lead Liverpool 2-0. At the end, they equalize. So Liverpool won. You have to work on your defense. You cannot just be receiving goal coming from behind to win games. And if you check their last game against Newcastle, what that 90th minute at least we got a winning goal. So this time around, Liverpool should sit up. Now let me go to Arsenal. Our team that normally finish second. Liverpool have gotten the necessary player they need. They are attacking. Arsenal have gotten the necessary player they need. They have gotten Victor. They have gotten Madueke. If Saka is not there, Madueke should be able to deliver. So I believe that Arsenal are in good position to win a trophy this season. When I talk about a trophy, something like Champions League, I don't mean FA Cup or the rest. Arsenal should be able to be competing to win a cup this season.
Okay, very well. And we also have to reckon that clean sheet wins over United and Leeds is a very, very huge statement from Arsenal as a team. What are your takes as the first level?
I think Arsenal has really been doing well, even without the likes of Kai Havertz, Gabriel Jesus, and then Odegaard with Bukayo Saka most recently. But then I feel that it's going to be very tough. This is the reason. Liverpool has actually scored first in 10 of their last 12 matches. You understand? Now, 10 of Liverpool's last 13 home game matches saw both teams score over 2.5 goals. Now, away from that, let's talk about Arsenal. Arsenal has, just like Podolski said, has got almost everything. Remember, I got the Chelsea in 2023-2024 season, scored a goal against a very, very decisive goal against the same Liverpool side. Now, I got the Chelsea is with the Arsenal team at this particular point, and hopefully will be part of the party, this particular team against Liverpool. Liverpool has a very fantastic forward. They have good players in the middle, but they do not have a defense. Just like he said, that's why they always keep coming from behind, because they get to the score. Now, with the way and pattern Arsenal is going, they all had a good start for the both teams. So Liverpool scored, I think it was 4-2 against the other side, and they scored 3-1 or thereabouts. 3-2, yes. You get? Now, Arsenal, on the other hand, equally had a very fantastic start too. But Liverpool, unlike Arsenal, does not have good defense. Arsenal has one of the best defense right now. Arsenal has one of the best keepers, and then their forward is beautiful. You get? So I feel it has more potentiality for Arsenal than Liverpool, even at Anfield. That's what I am seeing.
But don't forget that Liverpool failed to beat Arsenal in each of their last 6 Premier League encounters, and in that they drew 4 and lost 2. But they have not lost against Arsenal in the top flight recently. So I think the last time the Gunners came to the Anfield, that was in September 2012. They won 7 and draw 5 since then. So now Mikel Arteta and his men going into this game, if they win, if they can be able to keep a clean sheet, it will be the first time they have done that for a while.
Now, that is why I am saying something.
Mm-hmm.
Liverpool, at this particular point, started well, quite all right. I said it. But Liverpool, at this point, will have even Swansea scoring first. Liverpool will have as small as Swansea.
That was not the case in the last match. Liverpool went away 2 goals to nothing in the first half.
Liverpool went away 2 goals to nothing in the first half. But we will not deny the fact that it will always backlash.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Their defense is porous. You can have a pushing attack, which is good. You understand? But that pushing attack cannot do everything. That's what you need. You need. I talked about Manchester City. What's his name? The attacker from Manchester City that has injury. What's his name again? Rodri. I talked about him yesterday when I was saying Rodri's impact is being missed there because he has a particular role he plays. Liverpool does not have that too. At the moment, Liverpool does not have that. He does not have. They don't have somebody like Cicero who moves in up and down to chase the ball. Arsenal has that with Rice. Arsenal has that with so many other players that could be able to back up. Yeah. Liverpool doesn't.
Okay, we'll see what happens, and especially with the news coming in about Newcastle identifying a striker to come in from the Bundesliga. It could be good news that Isak could be let go, and then again will be the destination if you're Liverpool. And we're still hearing news about them adding one more defender before the transfer window closes. But let me just remind you that Liverpool will continue without Jeremy Frimpong, while at Atita's headache gone much deeper with Martin Odegaard, Bukayo Saka, Gabriel Jesus, and Kai Havertz all out injured in the troops entry, and that is a huge concern. We are getting into the moment you've all been waiting for, the Max Bet Show Banger Bet segment, where we can, of course, analyze. Give you predictions of what you feel could be the outcome of these games coming through. Welcome, guys. I know you're ready for the predictions. Let's start off with the 3K3s. Nottingham Forest up against West Ham United.
I think that's a very competitive match. To be on the safer side is 1.5.
Over 1.5 to be safe. What's the pick?
I think Nottingham Forest will end up giving a clean sheet.
A clean sheet for Nottingham Forest. That's for you to go for a low goal in that situation. Let's still have a look where Aston Villa will take on Crystal Palace.
Aston Villa, they are really showing their power horse this time around. So I would think Aston Villa to win over 1.5.
Villa to win and over 1.5. What's your take?
I think I was supporting. I'm backing Villa's win.
Villa to win also in your prediction. Let's now narrow it all down to City up against Brighton.
Straight win for City.
Straight win for Man City away from
It's going to be around
over 1.5. Okay, that's what it is. Let's talk about the main game of the day. That's the game between Liverpool and the Arsenal. What's your prediction?
Based on like I stated earlier, if Arsenal were able to keep a clean sheet, it will be the first time they have done it in the last 20 seasons. I think I said the last time they did it was 1944, 1945 seasons. So they are going to maybe support Arsenal this time around. Arsenal to win Liverpool.
What's
this time around?
I think Liverpool to be winning at halftime.
Okay, very well. And Liverpool, they know how to run away with the lead early before their opponents, the fans will come calling. But all the same, this is the watch that we can give you on that prediction segment. Don't forget, MaxBet offers you an amazing chance to be a winner because of MaxBet. Every day is a payday. Just need to log on to www.maxbet.ng so you can start winning. Yes, there is a 100% bonus waiting for you, and there's a 300 just for each school on MaxBet. You cannot afford to miss out on this one. Thank you very much, Kuboski.
Thank you.
Amazing time hanging out with you.
Gracias.
Thank you so much, guys. So that's the much we can take. All I can say is adios.